Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the world of the International Fabtalks. Fabtalks is all about connecting with wonderful people, beautiful minds, and people who have the time and the energy to share their thoughts, views, their experiences to enlighten and brighten our days. Today, we have a wonderful guest with us. He is none other than S. Devaraj. He's joining us all the way from Tamil Nadu. We'll get to know more about his journey. He's connected and associated with the banking sector. Now, how did he enter into the banking sector and what was his role in his organization? Let's get to know more about it. First, let's welcome sir on this platform called as the International Fabtalks. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Good evening, madam. Thanks for the offering. And yes.
Thank you, sir.
I am S. Devaraj. I am S. Devaraj. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I go ahead now and share your profile and then we begin the session. Right?
Sure, madam.
Yes. I go ahead and share your profile, sir. Dear friends, it's always a honor, a responsibility, and a pleasure to share the profiles of our celebrities and guests such that you know as to who they are at the initial phase of the interview and then get to know about their thought process and the hardships and the victories that they've had throughout their journey till date. I'd like to introduce to all of you once again, Mr. S. Devaraj. He is retired as the Deputy General Manager in Syndicate Bank. He handled personal, IT, planning and development. With regard, the priority sector was credit and large advances. I'd like to add more to that. Sir recently retired in the month of June, that is 30th of June, 2018. He was associated as the Deputy General Manager in Syndicate Bank. He completed his graduation and other important courses, which were really important for him to join the banking sector. He started his career as a clerk. You know, in a very small way, he began his journey as a clerk in a financial advisor and chief accounts office, Perambur, Chennai. Later on, he resigned and joined as a clerk in Syndicate Bank. And again, he resigned from there and joined as a probationary officer. He worked in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, Andhrapradesh. Now it's known as Telengana. He worked as a branch manager in rural areas as well. For example, he worked in a rural area, in a rural village called as Bedi in Gujarat, and his career growth was excellent. People loved him for who he was. He was very successful, as I earlier mentioned, in handling personal, IT, planning and development. Priority sector was credit and large advances. We'll get to know as to all of what is all of that, because it's a banking sector and I have no much of information myself. So I'd like to learn from sir as to what all of this mean, and then successfully managed the Salem region and Coimbatore region as the regional head. And today he has taken out some time for all of us to know the hardships that he faced and how he faced all the ups and downs and succeeded as a wonderful banker. And his journey is one to be celebrated on the International Fabtalks. Join us on this beautiful celebration to get to know more about sir and how he could empower, enlighten, and make us feel that our life is also worth living and we can give back something to society in a positive way. Now, sir, I just shared something about you. People would love to know more about you from you. What would you like to share about yourself? How would you define Mr. S. Devaraj?
Say, come from the family. The father is the mentor and the guide. My father was a worker in Integral Coach Factory, Perambur, and also is a trade union leader. From the beginning, he taught what is public service, what is the necessity of helping others, and what is the role of, again, we can say trade union concept and other things. So from the beginning, when I started talking to him while going or walking or when we are traveling along, he always guided me as a leader, and he only, as a first man, helped me in knowing what is leadership. From then onwards, it is, I completed my schooling in my village only. And again, my high school was in Ennur, now Ennore thermal power and other thing is very famous. There only my schooling was there, all in government school. Then again, I had been to college, studying BSc Botany and zoology, chemistry as an ancillary in a government college. Due to that time, we can say family circumstances, I wanted to go for job. So when I studying in first year BSc, I applied for a job through Railway Recruitment Board and got selected as a clerk. During third year, when I was about to complete, I got the appointment as on 31/3/2000, 1978 it was. That time only I was completing my degree, but not wrote the exam. Again, like my father, one good leader was there as my section officer, one Mr.S.Devaraj. Immediately after hearing, he said, you already joined the organization, one of the best organization. That is, though I mentioned as FA and CAO, it is coming under Southern Railway, Indian Railways, an organization. And he taught me, and he also given me an option. You don't do any work, study well your books and write exam, come up well, and then you do the job. Then I was handling in PF section. He has taught me the budget of Indian Railways, how it is prepared from the lower level. Say, in FNCO is a single unit of Southern Railway. Several other such Southern Railway, Central Railway, everything comes to railway. So how budget is prepared like that, he has started. Then accounting it started. Again, banking was the best idea. Public service was my motive. Sitting in a small office, doing some accounting work, why to? Let us join the bank like that. I wrote an exam, joined Syndicate Bank, and I joined Wellington, the famous Madras Regimental Center unit, and had the opportunity of interacting with
Yes, sir.
great people like Field Marshal Maneksha. He was our customer. And whenever he used to come, though we were clerk across the counter, he used to interact and tell about these other stories and other things. And that time, MRC was held by one Brigadier Dilbagh Singh. And we have also one-stop training college in defense in Wellington that was headed by Lieutenant General Balram that time. So I had a unique opportunity of moving with the cream of the officers in Indian Army also. So that career shaping and other thing, learning started in the second stage in Wellington. After that, again, with the friends, wrote several examinations, had the opportunity God has given me the officer's post in the same bank, Syndicate Bank, as a through the direct recruitment. And I joined Syndicate Bank in 1983 as a scale 1 and gradually got promoted. Regarding Bedi, why I mentioned particularly when so many other branches we have worked during our 33 years of work culture means it is a remote village, though it is very nearer to Rajkot city. That village, when I entered Gujarat, being a Tamilian, I never uttered a word in Hindi or I don't know what is Hindi. But people, once I landed that village, started talking in Hindi. Nobody taught me, but I started talking Hindi. Though they are Gujaratis, they are well versed in Gujarat and they used to understand my Gujarati and my Hindi and replied in Hindi. And that way, I was very, very successful in such a small village. And I was servicing about 9 service area village. In fact, the unique, I can also mention, everybody will be astonished. 10 to 2:30, all will be working. About 3, 4 clerks were there. One special assistant, senior clerk was there. Everybody will be working. And because it is a village, around 2:30, one bus will come. Everybody will go. So after lunch, I will close my branch. And I used to visit all the fields, that service area village. When my controlling authority, after knowing everything, he came and asked me, Devaraj, when you will be closing your bank? I said, by 2:30. Yes, you are talking to your deputy general. Again, that time deputy general manager was in charge when I was the manager. And you are telling your in charge that you will be closing the bank by 2:30. Yes, sir. I'll be closing, but I never went home before 8 or 8:30 in the night. And I will be servicing in the villages only. So he appreciated and encouraged. And that's how the service oriented. And it was one important project which you can say priority sector lending. That time, lift irrigation, we can say. About 15 kilometers, they will have to draw from a river bed and bring the water to the field of 15 kilometers. First time, we have formulated a project under NABARD guidance, and we have formulated, implemented. By the time when I was leaving, they enjoyed lifting that water, and they also developed one crop of wheat, where in Bedi, normally they will be going for groundnut, cotton kapas, zira, lessons like that. But first time in that nearby villages, they have gone for wheat cultivation also. So that is how that priority sector lending has come. And slowly, again, I came back. I worked in Kanjipuram, finest religious city of Tamil Nadu. From there, I went to then worked on various other places. Again, went to Hyderabad. Secondabad, we can say, as a divisional manager or a chief manager. I went there. The role is different. The client in Hyderabad, you know, the language, they'll be talking in Hindi, Telugu, and Urdu, Tamil, English, everything will be there. So as a chief manager, when somebody comes to my cabin, I never get perturbed about who is entering into the cabin. I welcome them, ask them to sit, and allow them to talk in whichever language they know. It may be Urdu also. I don't know Urdu, but I will be understanding their main questions, try to answer, and they will also understand. And only when it is impossible to communicate, then only I will seek the assistance of my other officials. That is all. And that is the way South Central Railway we used to come. I was in charge of one South Central Railway branch, entire trade union leader and other railway employees. Even today, will be remembering who is Mr. Devaraj. Such a way, I serviced around 10,000 salaried account of South Central Railway employees, including giving the personal loan and other things. So, because came from a very poor background, I know what is the need and other things. And in between anything, nothing will be there. Only the personal relationship, their need and bank's interest is protected. And got promoted as a assistant general manager, came to Chennai, zonal office that time they used to call. entire Tamil Nadu was under our control. I was in charge of, that time only I said, as a personal department, IT, information technology, even premises maintenance, planning and everything. And from there, I moved to my corporate office, wherein I had access to moving with the top bosses of the bank, chairman and managing director, MD and CEO, executive director, general managers, and other things. And particularly, I worked in that priority sector lending department for some time. Then my executive director asked me, why don't you move to, because basically I was not an agriculture graduate. I said, I'm a botany graduate. So being a non-agriculture graduate, why you continue in priority sector lending? Why don't you move to planning and development? One of the challenging department in any banking or in any departments or any organization, planning and development is the core department. When I moved there and we involved balance sheet, ideal preparations, note, board meetings, including organizing regional managers meet, zonal managers meet, strategy meet, where strategy meets will be arranged, including the board of directors, top clients, like that. My level of understanding what is industry, what is banking, and other things, that's the way I moved and worked there in planning and development to the major extent. Seeing this one, including when my executive director thought everything is going well and our bank is also going well. So altogether, the only ATM was there. Then in Andhra Bank, in State Bank of India, some other bank, ATM, internet facility, all facilities will be given in one cluster. So immediately he said, go and study and come with an idea. And I went there in Andhra Bank, studied. I went to State Bank of India, studied, given a note, and we have opened e-lounges. That was the initial stage somewhere in 2015. State Bank of Syndicate Bank was the third bank to start the e-lounge. That is the way it was growing. Then things were moving. Suddenly, I went and asked my executive director, sir, why don't you give me a regional manager post which is becoming vacant in Salem? I asked. Then he asked me, what is this? Yeah, everyone wanted to come and work in corporate office, and you wanted to go out of corporate office. This I don't like, and I'm surprised. Not like that, sir. See here, I will have to again meet I have already had enough knowledge, gained enough experience, enough exposure. Now I can go on independently handle one region so that I can help my bank, my staff working under me, and that way I will be helping the bank also. So he was very happy about my explanation, and he has transferred me to Salem region somewhere in 2015. 1 year I was heading Salem region, having around 60 branches. During that holding, I traveled around 50,000 kilometers by car. That is the extensive way in which I managed, because I wanted to know everything, including the pulse of the people, pulse of the staff, and public and other things. Managed very well and done very well, very well. In extending advances, crediting, and other things. Some of the big industry, including, we can say, the time one KPN Travels is there. We have given around big advances through KPN. Like that, some large advances we have given. And before that, when I was a large advances officer, I was handling accounts like Ramco, Speak Industries Limited, and many other corporate clients. So that way, the advances. And one more important issue. When I was heading that rural village, I was telling successfully. So small account also will fall this non-performing assets. We used to recover even on 150 rupees. I fought with the man and recovered. And one more important, I can say, one lorry driver account was NPA, his lorry account. I asked, what is this man? Why this account is NPA for a long time? We'll go to his house. I asked my attendant to take me. Then he said, Sahib, ye to thoda bada aadmi hai, and he will not allow us to go nearer him. And you just cannot ask for the recovery. You don't worry. You take me, I will manage. He has taken and just showed this is the house of so and so. And I was just calling him. Then one nice mustache man came. Who is this? Yeah, I am the bank guy. Who the hell? Why are you come here? Oh, like that he started. Then I pacified him. See, nothing. भैया थोड़ा बात करेंगे. बाद में आपको क्या चाहिए वो बोल देना. Like that, I just convinced. Then he said, I will not talk here. Come to the bank. It was a great success for me. He came. Everybody was astonished, including the villagers. Such a man, he has taken just like that to the bank and he talked. Then he said, no, one of your manager mishandled my account. When the annual renewal of the lorry is coming in the RTO office, your man has not given the clearance. So my account has become NPA. That is why I have not paid. And at least you had the patience of coming and talking to me. That's why I have come. And he has cleared that. That's one important. And that when I recovered 150 rupees also in Bedi branch from a small borrower, I was transferred to Chennai, came
Yes, sir.
working. That time I was working under large advances. Time, one small thing has happened. Eastwaran and Sons, you may be knowing. Western Crompton, you will be knowing. Some of the best companies. And that time, those accounts were in a difficult position. Without going details, because as a banker, I should not divulge. There was a proposal for settlement of the account. I was astonished seeing the figures. Then I went and told my boss, what is this? I was just going after the people, recovering 150 rupees, 200 rupees, 300 rupees, 1,000, 2,000 in lakhs I recovered. Here, they are going to write off so much. See, this is the role play you are playing. You are not an individual. You are just an officer of the bank. You carry out the responsibility which has been entrusted to you and don't take anything into your heart. This is how, that is a different story. And regarding Salem, I sent. And from Salem, I moved to Coimbatore again as a region manager. And you know, the textile industry and other things, including one new industry also as a given, that is Air Carnival. One Hirudayan Adan, who's a very, very industrialist man. He was running a college of ship marine engineering and also school and other things. He wanted to start air travel company. So I discussed with him. I was satisfied. I was able to convince my people that here is a man going to start in a small town, one air company, air travel company also. We will encourage, and we have given. And Air Carnival was the company. He started. His trip was Chennai to Coimbatore, Coimbatore to Chennai, then Coimbatore to Trichy, and from Coimbatore to Tirupati. Successfully, it was going on, and all of a sudden, some issues in at the macro level. I should not say what exactly it is, but macro level, some major decision has happened in 2016. That macro level decision has affected this industry also. It has also become NPA because I have identified the unit. I have lent the account following the practices normally applicable to as a banker. He came forward and settled the account without any loss to the bank. Yes. When I say as a advances and other things, now I even now, at least 30 to 40 people of my juniors who are in 35 to 40 years used to contact me regularly and seek my advice. And that is the way I moved with them when I was at the higher level, regional manager level. Say there, I used to counsel them whenever they have one question, one doubt. I am not a law graduate. I used to tell them about laws because when I was working as a large advances officer, we are supposed to verify the securities details of mortgage. So when we go and discuss with my law officer, I learned the technique of how we will have to scrutinize the legal documents. From there, my knowledge has started. And after retirement, I started browsing these bar arrangements, latest Supreme Court laws, judgments, and other things. And every now and then, even I'll be putting some tips in my status report. Other than these tips, useful tips, I will not put anything unwanted in my status. So, based on that, my individual clients who are younger generations started talking to me, asking for clarifications on law, on banking, or so many of them they face individual problem, psychological issues, and every other things. Not less than 3 to 4 I handle every day. And that is the confidence they have that if we contact Devaraj sir will suggest solution and we will come out of that. So far, it is success story. Anything else which
Excellent,
I can?
excellent, sir. A very wonderful journey you've had. You are a very patient person and, down to earth. You know how to deal with people, how to talk with people. You've given that example where you went to that place and you've met that person who was a very aggressive person, but then he calmed down, he understood the situation, he came back to the bank. All of this speaks volumes of how internally you have built up your, inner engineering, they say. So you really built up your thought process and the way you speak to people in a very nice way to get to know people, to get the best out of people, and to even serve the organization in the right way. That's really wonderful.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
sir, I have a big
Yeah.
question for you. You from the
Yes.
banking sector, you have knowledge of law as well, etc. Now, there are several women who would like to start up and become entrepreneurs. They would like some financial help. So, how do they approach the bank? If you could just simplify that for all of our sisters out there, are women also eligible for a loan? If at all, yes, how could one reach out and avail a loan? What are the terms and conditions? If you can share it, please do share that. It would be
Yes.
really
Yes. Any entrepreneur, first they have to conceive an idea. It is better to put it in writing what they wanted to do it. they should be very clear and what they wanted to achieve. So immediately itself, within 1 year, 2 years, they may not be able to generate profit. That should not be the issue. What is your goal? Why you are starting this enterprises? That you will have to calculate, and advances. How much advances you want? What is the approximate rate? Calculate that also. If that is taken into account and calculated, whether you will be still running it profitably, it is always generate all these papers. Don't prepare any papers through the chartered accountants or other middlemen in the beginning. You just go and discuss this industry is like that. I'm doing well. I can, if I start this industry or activity, I can successfully do well. And if the branch manager you are able to convince, then come back and discuss with a chartered accountant or any banker and other thing. Prepare the papers and present it. Any banker will be happy in advancing a successful. Only thing, while discussing, you should not deviate or demand that I'll be doing these advances and you have to give me the advance. Government, our prime minister is saying, our finance minister is saying, should never say. You are going for getting a fund for your venture, which will help you in grow. So only that should be your attitude, and you have the capacity to convince. Once you prepare a background paper, you will be definitely convincing the branch manager, and majority of the branch manager, we are here to help others. Very rarely somebody may be talking irregularly or some roughly this one. If such are those people, because after all, it's human being. If you come across such things, better avoid that manager. Go to some other manager who can hear you and convince. It is always possible to get the loan. And with the Prime Minister insistence and self-help group, even Tamil Nadu government is promoting. It is very, very easy to get at least 10,000 to 1 lakh or 10 lakh or up to 50 lakh. It is not that complicated for a new entrepreneur to get a loan to start the venture. Only thing the idea should be, and based on my own one special always, when I was regional manager, I told them at any cost, car loan, if anybody who is employed, if they want, give them car loan. If doctor is wanted, give them car loan. Some industry people wanted car loan, give it. If a local man wanted to drive a car, if you are satisfied, one or two, give. But at the same time, don't encourage just for the sake of giving you the car loan, and bank is also insisting number of car loan to be given like that. I openly told them. Why means already the roads are saturated. This once you are giving a, because somebody may be asking for a car loan, other thing for hire purchase. That is why I'm saying, once you purchase a car for hire, you will be investing around 78 lakhs, and you will be using day, night, everything, the car, and with the warranty, the value of the car will be almost off level within 1.5 years or 2 years. After that, the man who borrowed, if he is really entrepreneur, he will be managing, running the car for another 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 years also. Then he will be in a position to repay the loan. Himself will improve and he can go for second car loan, another thing. If for the sake of purchasing a car under car loan and going in for investment purpose or tourist purpose like that, If you wanted to borrow, that you will have to discourage yourself for the best economic, which I told, because the car will be best utilized and the value will be coming down less. And if you are not able to use it properly, that car loan which you have purchased for the purpose of hiring will become a problem for you. And most of us, we can see every other road seized cars. Other than that, one issue, any other entrepreneur can easily approach the banker and they can get the loan. Yes,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, sir, another big question. Any age criteria for a person to an entrepreneur who has a wonderful idea? Is there any age criteria to avail?
Normally there is no age criteria, but bankers may have second thought, advancing a person beyond 60 if he is not already having the industry or the business. If somebody is already having a business, there will not be any issue in getting an advance. And up to 70 years, no problem. Even for pensioners also, up to 70 years, we are giving repayment. Housing loan, when we are giving up to 70 years, if the pension is included, bankers are normally giving up to 70 years repayment clause. If not, it is generally restricted to less than 60.
Yes, sir. That's wonderful. Thank you, sir. Now, sir, you spoke about housing loan, right? Now,
Yeah.
housing loan, what is the criteria? Many of the people always would love to own a little home for themselves. So what is the
Yeah.
criteria for a person to avail a housing loan?
If he is a salaried person, normally 120 months or 7 years salary, like that. If he is a businessman, 5 years annual income, they are given.
Yes.
And that is the one part of the income criteria. And again, there is a cutback now. Say if your salary is 1 lakh and the housing loan which you wanted to repay in 30 years, that may come to 1,000 rupees, 30 means 30,000 rupees. And we can happily give. Suppose if your income is 70,000, then also we may give. If your income is 50,000 and 30,000 has to be repaid towards housing loan, with the 20,000, what you will be doing? You have to run your family also. So normally we look forward for 60% take home pay, or in worst come worst, 50% of take home pay for your personal use, income tax and other things payment and family running, hospitalization and everything. 50% of your income should be useful for repaying capacity. That way we can ask for the housing loan in general. Specifically, if younger the lot, above 50,000 rupees and other things easily can avail the loan. But at the same time, whenever you are availing, particularly nowadays, youngsters wanted to purchase car, scooter or a bike and house. And we cannot just imagine or think or aspire to get all these three things at a time.
Very true.
Why means, where every industry is not that certain that it will offer you job continuously. It is always uncertain. That you will have to take into account as youngsters. You have to plan. In this, I'm in a IT industry. I am earning about 1.5 lakhs. And my earning is there. This much I can. Out of 1.5 lakh, 50,000 to my family. Maybe 50,000 rupees to pay to my borrowings. And 50,000 to me for my savings for future. Unless and otherwise, you have that savings in your mind, you can never succeed in the life. There are people suffering having availed car loan, having availed housing loan, having availed any other personal loan, this one already everything, because while constructing house, you will be needing this and other things. Suppose if they lost the job, they have to sell the house. How much they would have invested, how much they will be losing, it will be unimaginable. So always, when you wanted to aspire to acquire an asset, any asset, plan yourself. This is your income. How much may be there? And in that, there should be a minimum quantum for your future savings. That will help you the future. Yes, madam.
Yes, yes, beautifully explained, very, lots of clarity. It was crisp, but lots of
Yes.
clarity. That's really nice. Now, sir, we'll leave the banking sector and come down to your early childhood. What kind of a child was Devraj when he
Yeah.
was a little boy below the age of 13? Do you
Yeah.
have any beautiful memories you could share with us?
Yes. Perhaps from 4th standard onwards, my school was up to 7th standard. I used to be the school people leader. I don't know how they selected me up to 7th standard. Every day, flag hoistings, one other thing. Studies, I used to be. When I was in 5th standard, 6th standard, I can say, some of the students, if they are not studying well, my teachers used to ask me to teach people in the same class with a lower standard books. And I have the opportunity of encouraging my own colleague student in the same class to transform within 6 months or maybe little more, some of them, and they come up. After that, teachers have taken care of them. That way, I really helped my colleague. And as a student, I was very studious. And even now, I used to tell my children what we enjoy in playing football, badminton, or kabaddi, or any other sports. Today, children is not enjoying. But I had the opportunity of enjoying walking, going down the lane, running, anything. And during 13 years, you asked, that is my PT teacher, we can say, in high school. Whenever PT class is coming, he will compulsorily ask us to participate in all the sports events. Say long jump, high jump, football, hockey. He will not allow you to choose a specialization. He will used to say, you go for your specialization when you go out of the school. When you are in the school, learn everything. You should not say, I don't know anything. Long jump, shot put, cricket, football, anything. High jump, long jump, and every other things you'll have to that way, sports event. So even after coming out of the school, we used to play football, badminton, like that, though we could not go for other activities.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. I really appreciate your PT, sir, because that is really important to make the child understand and participate.
Yeah, nowadays they are not doing it.
Yes, yes, I agree on that. Yes, yes. Now, sir, I would like you to share something about your mother. What impact has your mother had on you? I mean, were you very close to your mom or dad, or both were doting on you? What type of relation you had with your mother? You have some fond memories of your parents you could share with us, please.
Yeah. Both are great people. Both. My father studied up to 5th standard. Mother was uneducated, but very studious. And about 7 of us, my brothers and sisters, she has steadfastly. We used to go to field and other things, work, everything. She only managed the not like earlier days. My father also whatever the salary comes, he will come and hand over. And only she used to manage. Of course, those times paying fees and other things does not arise. Almost everything is free education. But she has managed and giving food and other thing. And particularly even recently also
Yes, sir.
friend as appreciate both of them used to prepare one tomato rice very
Yes.
in the afternoon for me to eat. That's my mother, very, very, very special mother and a strong mother. And up to 78, she lived up to 78 years. She was walking alone and she was independent. She was cooking and nothing else. Father, as I said, he was a leader from the beginning. And he said he was in school itself. My grandfather was in BNC mill, employed in BNC mill, that is. There, my father used to work half a day in school, half a day learning, half a day in mill during those days, because he was communist oriented. And he said some of the top leaders who were underground stayed in our family and he has taken care. And such as the way that man. And one more, if I have to tell about my father, in Integral Coach Factory, one Mr. Dakshinamurthy was there as a trade union leader. He was CPI oriented. All of a sudden, there was, because as a trade union, a very steadfast leader. So every other management, the general manager of ICF and other thing, they thought, why this man is giving trouble? Let us not continue with this man. So he asked the railway board, railway minister, you remove this fellow, then only the ICF will become normal. Then he asked, it seems, my father. My father name is Subramani. Subramani, why don't you become the general secretary of our union? And my father said, so far I'm working as a trade union man, but having born from a small family, having children, I don't want to take chance and become a general secretary for the sake of it at the cost of my children. And yes, though it is very famous, he said, I don't want to become general secretary. I wanted to look after my children. That's the great man.
Excellent, excellent. That's really wonderful, sir. That's beautiful. When people are responsible for the birth of the children,
Yes,
they
yes.
take that responsibility very seriously, then that becomes a beautiful family. And we wish all the parents out there to be great parents to their children. Now, sir,
Yes,
before we sum up the session, I'd like you to give out a beautiful message for all the youngsters, middle-aged and senior citizens. What is the wonderful message from Devraj, sir, for all of us?
Yes. See, everybody born in this world have to live. And we have to live mean we should have a aim or a goal. Without aim or a goal, nobody can have a success in life. This aim or a goal should come from within you, that why you wanted to aspire. And also, you should listen to the parents, take into account their aspirations, and definitely not take into account the aspirations of your environment. Say, everybody is studying BE. I also wanted to study. I wanted to study doctors. Not like that. It should be within your aim, what you wanted to become. That should guide. And you have to definitely take into account the aspirational instinct of your parents, because they are the basic people who are interested in our future, and they will not guide us wrongly, even if they are educated, uneducated, or highly educated. And their knowledge is taken into account, aspiration is taken into account, everyone can live. But at the same time, we should not build a dream house which may not last or beyond our capacity. We should build our house to within the capacity of us. Say within 10 years, I will go up this. After completing this one doctor or engineer, or I'm saying, I would like to become. After 20 years, I would like to become. After 30 years, that is the way one should aim and grow, and they will be feeling the success.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for this
Yes.
beautiful message. Thank you very much. One last request, sir, from you. As we represent this request to all the celebrities and guests to share with us 3 magical words. What were those 3 magical words in your life that has brought you so far successful, and you're so proud of all the achievements till date? If you could share that with us either in Tamil, Hindi, or English. Apart from please, sorry, and thank
Yes.
you, you can give us any 3 gifts in the form of
No,
3
no,
beautiful
no,
words.
no. Work is worship.
Wow.
So far, I followed it up very nicely, and only that is enough.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That's really very nice. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I enjoyed really. Thank you.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can switch off now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. My dear friends, with this, we'd like to come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. Do share this video with the right kind of people. And you never know who may be inspired by this beautiful video, which has been shared by Mr.S.Devaraj. You also can connect with him. We'll share his details in the description when we share this video link. Apart from that, if you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, bringing in beautiful guests, when I mean beautiful, I refer to their mind, to their thought process, and to the way they conduct themselves when they meet different people. When you respect people across different classes, across different countries, etc. Such people really make a difference in our lives. So Fab Talks is all about connecting with people who could respect other people, who could value the people in their lives, and who could give importance to one and all, whoever they come across. Stay connected with us, like, subscribe, share, and comment to the International Fab Talks. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to love your family, and keep smiling. Stay safe.